dragon training, obviously a very dangerous thing. Yes. What is the most dangerous thing you've ever done in your life?
A lot of it's too serious to say on the red carpet, I think. I mean, no, I ate a rat once. That was kind of dangerous and disgusting.
Was it on purpose?
Yeah, I had to do it for a show I did. It was smoked, and it just felt I felt like my body was like, "What are you doing?" I could hear it rejecting it as it was going down.
What does rat taste like?
It's like a very oily. I don't know if you've ever eaten albatross. It's like a really oily albatross.
You're really solid. It seems like something on Berk would eat.
I've had so many accidents. I've almost drowned on big wave surfing. I had a very bad motorbike crash, jumped around the edge of buildings. I was learning to fly helicopters, almost crashed them a couple of times. I've done a lot of dangerous things. Nowadays, I'm getting less so. It's like getting out of bed, like, okay, I got to find the floor first. But I used to be a bit of a maniac, to be honest, in movies and out with movies, and then before movies I was even crazier, but that's a whole other story.
What do you admire most about Fish Legs?
I love his the way he just like obsesses over things. I feel like we all have that friend who was like really into a show or really into I feel like he was that kid who brought his Pokemon cards to school, but didn't let anyone touch them, and he was kind of told off not to play with them. But I just love his heart, and he's just squishy. That's how I think he is. Yeah.
He's quite to the point. I like that about him. He doesn't beat around the bush, and he's very honest. I think he knows for a lot of these trainees die. So I like the fact this is how it is.
He's pragmatic.
Yeah.
Her strength and power and dignity. Yeah.
Just how she, her ability to yell at men who are much taller than her. That's kind of my role in the movie. I just yell at all the older Vikings.
It's something I understand deeply.
Yeah. It was quite cathartic, yeah. Yeah.
What was the most surprising part about composing for the live action version?
How long it took me. Considering I was writing the same score again and all the material was there, and I really, in theory, should have been the easiest job of my life, it actually turned to be very, very hard. I was telling somebody, I'd just done Wicked, part one. I did the first part, and that I had to take somebody else's music and work with and be very respectful but very firm with as needed. And so I think it was good to do it in that order, because I then came to this film and realized I got to do that to my own stuff. I'm going to treat my own stuff as if, I didn't write it. So I don't get too precious about it, but I need to also know what people like about it and make sure I don't mess that up. So,
was there a particular sequence that you found the most challenging to revisit?
Oh, the end battle. Yeah. It was hard the first time, and it expanded about 3 times the size this time. So it was like trying to make long battle scenes flow is very hard, and so this was really long, and so it needed a lot of energy, a lot of kineticism, a lot of pulse to it, and also, it had to hit multiple things all the time. So it was complicated. That was complicated. Yeah.
One of the big principles in animation is exaggeration, right? And so then when we get a live action version, things have to be tempered a little bit. They have to play more real. Is the same true for the music, or did you find you had to emphasize points more to make up for?
It's a very good. I mean, I've done animation which is very emphasized, so you really have to push the music that far. This original animation was already very more cinematic than most animation at the time, which I think is why it's so loved as well. It's not over the top. But even the difference between that and this is, yes, it's like using a slightly different prism on it all the time. It's like things do not happen exactly the same way. Things are more human the way they work in this film. So I need to, it's a mixture of thinning out, slowing down, believe it or not, different keys, different orchestrations, just, myriad changes that made the difference. And as I was watching it, it was not working until I would do thousands of little things on it, and then eventually it just sat in, and then it worked. So, and I can't even almost sort of remember now. You just do it in a flurry of activity, and it's just all I knew was, nope, this is not right. and you just keep going, keep chipping away at it, and then eventually it just sits in there. And I guess it was right. It will, in theory, hopefully sound kind of the same as it did the first time. It'll feel the same. As long as I keep the heart of every piece, which I think I did, it just needed a slightly different eye on it. That's all the time.